Unlocking your financial destiny begins with a crystal-clear vision of exactly what you want to achieve. Defining your definite chief aim is the cornerstone of every success story, and in this video you will discover how to craft a powerful statement that guides every decision you make. You'll learn why a vague desire to make more money falls short and how to transform that wish into a specific, measurable, and emotionally charged goal that propels you toward lasting wealth. By the end of this session, you will possess a step-by-step framework for identifying your most important financial objective and setting the stage for relentless momentum. Most people drift through life reacting to circumstances, hoping that fortune will smile on them. But Napoleon Hill's timeless research reveals that true achievement starts with conscious design. A definite chief aim is not a casual intention. It is a burning desire anchored in purpose and driven by unwavering faith. In this introduction, we'll explore the science behind goal setting and why mental clarity ignites the subconscious mind to seek out opportunities, resources, and alliances you never knew existed. You will gain insight into how your brain responds when you provide it with a precise target, triggering neural pathways that align every thought and action with your ambition. Next, we will dive into the practical steps for formulating your definite chief aim. You'll discover how to choose a single, overarching financial goal that resonates deeply with your values, ensuring that you remain motivated even when challenges arise. We'll reveal the three essential components of an effective aim: specificity, deadline, and emotional intensity, and share proven techniques for embedding this statement into your daily routine through written affirmations and mental rehearsals. These methods will reprogram your subconscious to prioritize your objective and generate creative solutions for overcoming obstacles. By subscribing and activating notifications, you will join a community of individuals committed to mastering their financial destiny. In upcoming videos, we will build on this foundation with powerful Hill-inspired strategies such as autosuggestion, organized planning, and the mastermind principle. Whether you're a novice eager to take control of your budget or an aspiring entrepreneur seeking capital for your venture, this series will equip you with the mindset and tools necessary to convert your aspirations into reality. Get ready to embark on a journey of transformation, where clarity of purpose becomes the catalyst for exponential financial growth. In the journey toward financial mastery, nothing holds greater power than a clearly defined ambition. Your definite chief aim serves as the compass that directs every thought, decision, and action, transforming vague aspirations into a magnet for opportunity. Without it, you drift through life at the mercy of circumstance. With it, you orchestrate your destiny with precision and conviction. In this video, you will uncover how to craft a definite chief aim that resonates deeply with your values and ignites a relentless drive for wealth creation. You will learn why specificity fuels the subconscious mind to cultivate ideas, forge alliances, and identify resources you might otherwise overlook, turning your statement of purpose into an unstoppable force for progress. By embedding your aim into daily routines through strategic affirmations and mental rehearsals, you will reprogram your mindset to align effortlessly with your highest financial goals, setting the stage for breakthroughs in income, investment, and entrepreneurial success. Most individuals fail to grasp that a single, well-defined objective has the capacity to simplify decision-making, sharpen focus, and accelerate results. A broad desire to get rich lacks the emotional intensity and clarity required to galvanize your subconscious into meaningful action. Napoleon Hill's research demonstrates that the human mind responds to clear instructions as it would to a command, mobilizing thoughts, emotions, and behaviors toward fulfillment of the targeted outcome. When you articulate a precise goal, complete with a measurable metric and a deadline, you transform your mental environment. You create a psychological blueprint that your subconscious mind interprets as an urgent mission, prompting it to scan your surroundings for opportunities and resources that align with your aim. The result is a heightened awareness of possibilities you may have previously dismissed and an increased willingness to take calculated risks that propel you forward. To construct an effective definite chief aim, you must integrate three essential components: specificity, deadline, and emotional intensity. Specificity demands that you state your goal in clear, quantifiable terms. For example, rather than "I want more money," you commit to "I will accumulate $100,000 in liquid assets within 12 months. A deadline creates urgency, sparking a sense of necessity that prevents procrastination and fosters momentum. Emotional intensity infuses your aim with passion and personal significance, ensuring that each setback becomes a catalyst for renewed determination rather than a reason to abandon your pursuit. By combining these elements, you craft a potent affirmation that speaks directly to your subconscious, turning it into an ally in overcoming obstacles. Once you have formulated your statement, The practice of autosuggestion engraves it into the deepest layers of your mind. Write your definite chief aim by hand on a card, then read it aloud twice daily, once upon waking and once before sleep, with unwavering belief and conviction. As you vocalize your goal, visualize its achievement in vivid detail, imagining the sensations, experiences, and freedom that accompany your success. This fusion of affirmation and visualization creates a neural imprint, reinforcing the pathways that support confident, goal-directed behavior. Over time, your subconscious begins to operate on autopilot, guiding you toward decisions and actions that serve your aim without requiring conscious effort. But crafting and affirming your definite chief aim is only the beginning. To leverage its full potential, integrate it into an organized plan of action. Break your primary objective into weekly and monthly milestones that act as stepping stones toward your ultimate goal. Determine the specific tasks, strategies, and resources required for each milestone, whether that involves learning new skills, networking with industry experts, or allocating portions of your budget to targeted investments. Maintain a written record of these milestones and review them daily, ensuring that your efforts remain aligned with your overarching aim. This disciplined approach prevents you from becoming sidetracked by distractions and dissolves the overwhelm that often accompanies ambitious objectives. As you progress, track your performance meticulously. Celebrate small wins to reinforce positive behavior and analyze setbacks as valuable lessons. When you encounter obstacles, be it market fluctuations, personal setbacks, or unexpected expenses, return to your definite chief aim, reaffirm its importance, and adjust your plan without losing sight of the ultimate destination. Your burning desire, rekindled through daily affirmation, becomes a torch that lights the path forward, even in the darkest moments. In this video, you will not only learn the theoretical underpinnings of Hill's concept, but also engage in actionable exercises. You will be guided through a step-by-step process, selecting a goal that aligns with your passions and financial needs, constructing a precise statement, embedding it into your subconscious through proven autosuggestion techniques, and organizing a robust plan of action. By the end of this session, you will hold in your hands a dynamic tool, a personal declaration of purpose, that transforms abstract dreams into tangible results. Remember, the human mind thrives on clarity and coherence. A well-defined aim replaces confusion with direction, inertia with momentum, and doubt with unwavering belief. Whether you aspire to pay off debt, build an emergency fund, launch a profitable side business, or achieve full financial independence, your definite chief aim is the starting point. Embrace this principle with the seriousness it deserves, and watch as every subsequent strategy, autosuggestion, imagination, mastermind collaboration, builds upon the solid foundation you have established. Now, prepare to take immediate action.
Grab a pen, a note card, and a quiet space free from distraction.
In the next segment, we will walk you through crafting your personal definite chief aim, ensuring that it resonates with your deepest motivations and aligns with measurable objectives. Commit to this exercise wholeheartedly, and you will lay the cornerstone of a financial destiny that is not left to chance but is designed with purpose, fueled by belief, and executed with relentless determination. In this second segment of our exploration into Napoleon Hill's definite chief aim principle, we delve into the strategic process of identifying and refining your singular financial objective so that it perfectly aligns with your deepest values, your current circumstances, and the realistic possibilities available to you. Establishing a robust, definite chief aim requires more than imagination. It demands disciplined analysis, self-awareness, and a willingness to iterate until the goal resonates with both your conscious aspirations and subconscious drives. By engaging in a structured approach, you ensure that your declaration of purpose remains compelling over time and yields sustained motivation even in the face of inevitable challenges. To begin, take stock of your personal priorities and life role. Every individual occupies multiple roles: family member, professional, community participant, and each role informs your sense of purpose.
Ask yourself, what matters most to me in my life right now?
Are you focused on building security for your family, achieving independence to pursue creative passions, or earning enough to fund philanthropic endeavors? Your definite chief aim must integrate seamlessly with your core values. The moment there is a conflict between your aim and your values, you risk cognitive dissonance that weakens determination. Write down a list of your top 5 values, such as integrity, freedom, security, legacy, growth, and reflect on how a financial goal can honor these values. For example, if legacy is paramount, your aim might incorporate a plan to accumulate assets that allow you to establish a scholarship fund or support community programs. If freedom guides you, You might prioritize building passive income streams that liberate your time. Next, conduct a situational assessment of your current financial status and external environment. A realistic, definite chief aim acknowledges your starting point. Document your existing income sources, savings, debts, and recurring expenses. Break these down into categories: essential living costs, discretionary spending, short-term obligations, and long-term commitments. Then survey your resources. Do you have marketable skills, professional networks, or access to capital? Which skills can be monetized or improved through education or credentialing? Recognize that Hill's model is not divorced from practicality. Your objective should stretch your capabilities yet remain within the realm of feasibility. After all, setting an aim to amass $1 million in 6 months without relevant income potential or investment channels breeds frustration rather than progress. By accurately mapping where you are today, you can shape a purpose statement that builds on existing strengths and addresses areas that require development. Having clarified values and assessed your situation, use a creative brainstorming phase to generate potential aims. In this stage, suspend all judgment and list every conceivable financial goal that excites you. Perhaps you envision paying off your mortgage entirely, amassing a 6-figure emergency fund, launching a side consultancy, or investing in rental properties. Aim for quantity over quality initially. Write down at least 20 distinct possibilities. Then, score each option based on 3 criteria: alignment with your values, feasibility within your time frame, and emotional resonance. Create a simple scoring system from 1 to 5 for each criterion and calculate total scores. The highest scoring aims likely represent the best candidates. However, Hill emphasizes that the most potent aims emerge when the mind is fully invested emotionally. If an idea scores moderately on 2 criteria but evokes a profound emotional response, consider prioritizing it over a higher scoring but uninspiring option. With 2 or 3 top candidates in hand, enter an evaluation phase. For each, construct a 1-paragraph scenario describing the future reality you seek. Paint a vivid mental picture. Where are you, what are you doing, who is with you, and how do you feel? Include sensory details, sights, sounds, even smells, to intensify emotional involvement.
The act of describing the scenarios engage your imagination, an indispensable tool in Hill's framework.
After drafting these scenes, revisit each paragraph each morning and evening during a 5-day trial period. Monitor which scenario consistently energizes and invigorates you. Your subconscious will reveal the ideal aim by sustaining attention and enthusiasm. If one scenario leaves you indifferent or anxious, discard it in favor of the one that produces genuine excitement. Once the single dominant purpose emerges, it's time to transform that narrative into a formal, definite chief aim statement. Craft a concise, affirmative sentence that includes 3 elements: the precise amount or outcome you desire, a specific date by which you will achieve it, and a declaration of your plan of action. The structure might read, "I will generate $75,000 in net profit through the launch and growth of my online financial coaching business by March 31st of next year, employing targeted social media outreach, weekly educational webinars, and strategic partnerships." Notice that this statement identifies the monetary objective, the time frame, and the broad strategy. It is sufficiently detailed to guide your focus, but flexible enough to allow tactical adjustments in response to new information. To reinforce ownership of your definite chief aim, personalize it further by embedding a why clause. Psychology research demonstrates that internal motivation strengthens when individuals understand the personal significance of their objectives. Append a brief explanation: "I will generate $75,000 in net profit by March 31st of next year through my online financial coaching business, so that I can achieve the flexibility to spend quality time with my family, fund my children's higher education, and donate 10% of profits to causes that uplift underserved communities." This why statement should be emotionally charged and connect to the values you identified earlier. It transforms a financial target into a compelling mission that resonates beyond monetary gain. With your statement finalized, commit it to writing using the auto-suggestion technique. Prepare a physical card or piece of high-quality paper and write the statement in your own handwriting, using bold, legible letters. Place this card where you will see it at least 3 times a day: on your bathroom mirror, on your desk, and in your wallet. Each time you encounter the card, pause for a moment of mindful focus. Read the statement aloud, visualize its fulfillment with vivid sensory details, and allow yourself to feel the emotions of accomplishment. This repeated mental rehearsal forges neural connections in the brain, transforming passive wishes into active cognitive priorities. In parallel with autosuggestion, incorporate your definite chief aim into a morning ritual and evening reflection practice. Start each day by reading the statement, then spend 5 minutes journaling specific actions you will take that morning toward your goal. In the evening, review what you accomplished, note any insights or obstacles, and reaffirm your aim before sleep. This cyclical process creates a feedback loop. Conscious planning in the morning, execution throughout the day, and subconscious processing overnight. Over weeks and months, this approach aligns your habitual behaviors with your stated purpose, catalyzing consistent progress. To ensure accountability and continual refinement, establish a tracking system. Use a simple spreadsheet or journal to record daily and weekly metrics, revenue earned, calls made, content produced, or other relevant performance indicators linked to your aim. Review these metrics weekly to assess trends and adjust tactics. Hill highlights that persistent review prevents complacency and sustains momentum. If progress stalls, revisit your initial situational assessment and scenario descriptions. Perhaps an unforeseen variable, market shift, personal responsibility, resource limitation, requires you to modify the tactics or even the timeline. Be prepared to update your definite chief aim statement periodically to reflect these changes while preserving the core objective. Finally, cultivate a supportive environment to bolster your aim. Communicate your purpose to close friends, family, or mentors who can encourage you and hold you accountable. Consider forming or joining a small mastermind group, 3 to 5 individuals with similar aspirations, who meet regularly to share experiences, offer advice, and celebrate milestones. The collective energy of a focused group amplifies individual ambition, providing fresh perspectives and mutual inspiration. Regular interactions with peers who respect and reinforce your definite chief aim magnify its psychological impact and help you navigate challenges with greater resilience. By following this comprehensive process, value alignment, situational assessment, brainstorming, scenario testing, statement crafting, autosuggestion, ritual integration, metric tracking, and community support, you convert Hill's abstract concept into a living, actionable blueprint. Your definite chief aim ceases to be a static sentence and becomes the driving force that shapes your daily life, decisions, and relationships. This intentional clarity directs the powerful creative faculties of your mind, guiding you to seize opportunities, innovate solutions, and mobilize resources in service of your most cherished financial vision. As you progress through this journey, remember that the true power of your definite chief aim lies not only in the achievement of a number or outcome, but in the transformation of your identity, from goal seeker to goal achiever, from passive dreamer to purposeful creator. In this third segment, we turn our full attention to mastering the combined power of autosuggestion and visualization as indispensable tools for embedding your definite chief aim into the deepest layers of your mind. While crafting a precise statement and organizing an actionable plan are essential steps, it is the consistent, strategic use of autosuggestion and mental imagery that transforms abstract ambitions into lived realities. These techniques, when practiced with unwavering discipline, harness the brain's innate capacity to rewire neural pathways, strengthen belief systems, and direct unconscious cognition toward your specified objective. Through detailed guidance, best practices, common pitfalls, and illustrative examples, you will gain the expertise needed to wield these methods effectively and avoid the mistakes that often undermine eager practitioners. Autosuggestion, at its core, is the method by which you consciously feed your subconscious mind with carefully chosen affirmations that reflect your definite chief aim. Unlike casual positive thinking or fleeting pep talks, true autosuggestion requires methodical repetition, emotional conviction, and sensory immersion. Begin each morning session immediately upon waking, when the mind is most receptive. Position yourself in a quiet environment, free from interruptions, and hold your note card bearing your written aim in clear view. Read the statement aloud with deliberate articulation, infusing each word with deep emotion. As you speak, visualize the outcome unfolding in real time. See the figures on your bank statement rising, hear the tone of congratulatory emails from clients, feel the weight of the assets you have accumulated. Engage all senses. Imagine the tactile sensation of handling funds, the taste of success, the ambient sounds of achievement. This union of spoken affirmation and vivid sensory detail acts as a potent catalyst for neural encoding. Immediately following the verbal recitation, transition into a period of silent visualization. Close your eyes and allow the scene to play out like a cinematic sequence in your mind's eye. Observe the environment, the room in which you review your investments, the expressions of those around you as they acknowledge your success, even the scent in the air when you accomplish key milestones. Intensify the emotional resonance by consciously experiencing gratitude, pride, and exhilaration in relation to your achievement. Neuroscientific research confirms that the brain struggles to distinguish between vividly imagined experiences and actual events. As a result, your neural circuits adapt as though you were genuinely living the scenario. By dedicating 10 to 15 minutes each morning to this immersive practice, you prime your subconscious to orchestrate behaviors and decisions that align with your aim throughout the day. A similar routine should be conducted each evening, just before sleep, in order to capitalize on the brain's processing functions during dreams. At this time, repeat your statement aloud or sub-vocally, then visualize the desired outcome with the same degree of sensory and emotional richness. The pre-sleep window is uniquely powerful for imprinting new mental patterns because the mind transitions into a semi-suggestible state, facilitating memory consolidation and the strengthening of synaptic connections. This orb of impressionability can be weaponized to embed your aim deeply, ensuring that overnight thought processes continue to nudge you toward opportunities and creative solutions that serve your goal. While this framework appears straightforward, practitioners often stumble over several common mistakes. First, they neglect emotional intensity, reducing their statements to mere verbal exercises devoid of feeling. Without genuine emotional engagement, affirmations become background noise and fail to register meaningfully with the subconscious. To avoid this, explicitly cultivate a strong emotional anchor. Recall a past moment of triumph or gratitude to kindle authentic feeling before each autosuggestion session. Second, many individuals rush through the recitation and visualization, impatient for immediate results. Consistency and duration are paramount. Autosuggestion is a marathon, not a sprint. Commit to at least 30 consecutive days of morning and evening routines before expecting tangible shifts in mindset or circumstance. Third, some adopt affirmations that conflict with deeply held internal beliefs, provoking subconscious resistance. If you find yourself subconsciously dismissing the words you recite, re-evaluate the phrasing. Ensure that every assertion feels plausible and congruent with your self-image. For example, if you currently earn modest income, stating, "I am a billionaire," may trigger dissonance. Instead, select a goal that is ambitious yet feels attainable given your situational assessment. To illustrate the transformative potential of these practices, consider the case of an individual who aspired to save $30,000 within a single year to launch an online consulting service. Initially burdened by self-doubt and habitual overspending, she adopted a clear autosuggestion routine. Each morning, she recited her aim, "I will save $30,000 in 12 months through disciplined budgeting, targeted skill development, and strategic freelance engagements," while visualizing a growing savings balance on her screen. She experienced genuine anticipation at the moment of visualizing each incremental deposit. Over the course of 3 months, the consistent repetition reshaped her spending patterns. Unconsciously, she sought cost-saving measures, declined impulsive purchases, and negotiated more favorable freelance rates. By her 7th month, she had surpassed the halfway mark toward her savings goal, long before she might have reached it through rigid budgeting alone. This acceleration stemmed not from deprivation but from an internal shift toward recognizing and capitalizing on every opportunity to advance her aim. Beyond the individual case study, research on mental rehearsal by sports psychologists offers reinforcing evidence. Athletes who visualize perfect execution of a skill before physical practice demonstrate measurable improvements in performance metrics, illustrating that mental practice alone can modify neuromuscular patterns. The same principle operates for financial behaviors and entrepreneurial tasks. When you imagine the series of steps required to secure a high-value client, conducting research, crafting proposals, managing correspondence, your subconscious begins to streamline cognitive pathways that facilitate each action. By combining autosuggestion of your aim with detailed visualization of milestone achievements and microtasks, you forge a cognitive roadmap that guides your conscious focus when real-world situations arise. After several weeks of dedicated practice, it is essential to monitor the shifts occurring in your mindset and daily routines. Maintain a reflective journal dedicated to your autosuggestion and visualization sessions. Record observations such as new ideas that emerged, synchronicities you encountered, or subtle changes in your habits. Document any emotional resistance or doubts that surface, as these often unveil limiting beliefs that require additional attention. Reflecting on these entries during weekly reviews allows you to refine your techniques. Perhaps certain visual details resonate more strongly than others. Accentuate those elements in subsequent sessions. If you notice diminishing enthusiasm, revisit the crafting of your aim statement and why clause to reinvigorate your emotional commitment. In addition to solo practice, consider enhancing autosuggestion by integrating supportive environmental triggers. Place visual cues in your workspace, images representing your financial goal, keywords that encapsulate core values, or symbols that remind you of your deeper motivations. Every glance at these triggers can prompt a micro-repetition of your aim, reinforcing the underlying neural imprint. Similarly, auditory cues such as a brief ringtone or chime at predetermined intervals can remind you to mentally recite your statement and visualize progress. These ambient reinforcements weave your definite chief aim into the tapestry of daily life, transforming autosuggestion from a discrete exercise into a continuous influence on perception and behavior. Group-based autosuggestion sessions can further amplify results when conducted within a mastermind framework. Gather a small circle of peers who each possess their own definite chief aims, and commit to regular sessions where each member recites their aim aloud while others offer supportive feedback. The collective energy and mutual accountability intensify individual conviction and heighten emotional resonance. Moreover, witnessing fellow aspirants' unwavering belief can inspire deeper commitment to your own objectives. Within such a circle, creative insights often flow spontaneously, revealing novel approaches or untapped resources that you might not discover in isolation. Over time, as autosuggestion and visualization become habitual, you will reach a stage where the definite chief aim feels inseparable from your identity. At this point, you may transition into a more flexible maintenance phase. Rather than rigid morning and evening recitations, weave brief affirmations and momentary visualizations into activities throughout the day, during exercise, commuting, or routine tasks. Micro-rehearsals of 20 to 30 seconds can sustain the momentum and prevent regression into unfocused patterns. Continue periodic deep sessions when embarking on new milestones or facing significant challenges to recalibrate emotional intensity and clarity. Ultimately, the mastery of autosuggestion and visualization doesn't merely support the realization of your definite chief aim, it evolves your very self-concept. You shift from perceiving the aim as an external target to embodying it as an intrinsic aspect of who you are. This identity transformation is the hallmark of high achievers. They do not chase success because they want it. They pursue success because they are success in every fiber of their being. Their actions, thoughts, and habits flow naturally from a self-image that is congruent with their aspirations. By persistently applying autosuggestion and visualization, you accelerate this integration, shortening the path from conceptualization to actualization. In the next segment, we will explore the critical role of emotional intelligence and how mastering your mood and mindset under pressure ensures that autosuggestion remains effective even when circumstances threaten your resolve. You will learn practical techniques for maintaining optimism, managing stress, and leveraging adversity as fuel for sustained momentum. For now, commit to your morning and evening autosuggestion rituals with absolute consistency, monitor your progress diligently, and witness the profound transformation that occurs when your subconscious mind becomes the most reliable ally in your pursuit of financial mastery. In this fourth segment, we focus on translating your definite chief aim from a powerful statement into a meticulously organized plan of action that ensures consistent progress toward your financial objective. While a clear aim and the practice of autosuggestion ignite the creative and motivational forces within your mind, only an organized plan provides the structural backbone necessary to convert intention into measurable results. We will dissect the process of breaking down your overarching goal into manageable milestones, crafting detailed action steps for each phase, allocating resources intelligently, and establishing review mechanisms that keep you accountable and adaptable in the face of changing circumstances. By the end of this segment, you will possess a robust blueprint designed to propel you steadily and confidently toward the achievement of your definite chief aim. First, identify the major phases that comprise your journey. Begin by mapping out a timeline that spans from today to the deadline specified in your definite chief aim. Divide this timeline into quarterly, monthly, and weekly segments. At the quarterly level, designate high-level milestones that represent significant inflection points. For example, reaching 25% of your target savings, launching a pilot version of your product or service, securing key partnerships, or generating your first 5-figure month in revenue. Monthly milestones break these larger objectives into chunks that can be realistically accomplished within a 4-week window, such as completing a specific course to elevate your expertise, drafting and refining your business plan, or executing targeted marketing campaigns to attract your first cohort of clients. Weekly milestones then translate these monthly goals into discrete tasks. Schedule 4 client outreach calls, allocate a fixed percentage of your income to savings, publish 2 educational blog posts, or analyze your spending trends and adjust your budget accordingly. This hierarchical structure transforms the daunting scope of your aim into a sequence of tangible checkpoints, each with clear expectations and success criteria. Next, for each weekly milestone, craft a detailed action plan consisting of specific tasks, deadlines, and resource assignments. Use a standardized template for clarity. List the week's milestone at the top, followed by a prioritized task list numbered in order of impact and urgency. For each task, specify the time required, any dependencies, such as data gathering, third-party coordination, or skill acquisition, and the resource allocation, whether that resource is time, money, or personnel. For example, task: research 3 investment platforms. Estimated time: 3 hours. Dependencies: secure access to financial data subscriptions. Connect with an investment mentor. Resources: budget of $50 for trial subscriptions. Task: draft initial pitch deck for potential partners. Estimated time: 5 hours. Dependencies: complete market analysis report. Collect testimonials from beta users.
Resources: Canva Pro subscription, feedback session with peer mastermind.
This level of specificity eliminates ambiguity, reduces decision fatigue, and allows you to dive directly into execution each day without pondering, what should I do next? By maintaining a disciplined approach to planning, you channel your time and energy toward activities that directly serve your definite chief aim. Integration of resource management into your plan is equally crucial. Begin by allocating a fixed percentage of your monthly income to different categories: essential living expenses, business development, education, savings, and discretionary spending. Within the business development allocation, earmark funds for tools, advertising, professional services, and unforeseen contingencies. Track all allocations in a centralized budgeting spreadsheet or financial management app, updating balances weekly. This practice fosters financial discipline and ensures that your aim-related initiatives receive priority in terms of both capital and attention. For example, you might assign 10% of monthly income to education, covering courses and books that enhance your skill set, and another 15% to marketing, thereby guaranteeing that promotional activities are consistently funded. To maintain momentum, establish a daily top 3 system derived from your weekly plan. Each morning, review your weekly milestone and identify the 3 highest leverage tasks that will move you closest to completion. Allocate prime energy hours, those periods when your focus and creativity peak, to these tasks. Record them in a simple daily log, mark them off as you complete them, and reserve less demanding activities for lower energy windows. This ritual keeps you aligned with your long-term plan while permitting agility to address urgent issues or seize unexpected opportunities that arise. Regular review sessions form the final pillar of an effective, organized plan. Conduct a brief daily review at day's end. Assess your progress on the top 3 tasks, note any roadblocks, and recalibrate the next day's priorities accordingly. Every week, hold a comprehensive planning meeting with yourself, or with your accountability partner or mastermind group. Evaluate weekly milestones, celebrate successes, analyze any shortfalls, and adjust upcoming tasks and resource allocations. At the close of each month, perform a deeper analysis of your metrics: revenue growth, savings rate, expense variance, client acquisition, or whatever key performance indicators directly correlate with your definite chief aim. Compare results against monthly targets, extract lessons learned, and refine the plan for the next month. These iterative cycles of planning, execution, and review ensure that you remain responsive to real-world feedback and continually optimize your path to success. In addition to self-reviews, seek external accountability. Share your organized plan and milestone schedule with trusted peers, mentors, or members of your mastermind group. Provide them with concise progress reports at regular intervals, weekly or monthly, so they can offer insights, encouragement, and constructive critique. The social commitment inherent in public accountability amplifies motivation and reduces the likelihood of procrastination or half-hearted efforts. Moreover, external perspectives often reveal blind spots, untapped opportunities, or latent risks that you might overlook when focused solely on internal execution. Finally, embrace flexibility within your structured framework. Life and markets are dynamic. Unexpected events, an urgent personal obligation, a competitive shift in your industry, or a sudden financial windfall will inevitably arise. When such events occur, refer to your review mechanisms. If a task or milestone is no longer relevant or feasible, update your plan by postponing, reallocating, or replacing it with a higher priority objective. Document the rationale for each adjustment to preserve organizational transparency and maintain confidence in your plan. This adaptability prevents rigid adherence to outdated tactics and ensures that your definite chief aim remains the North Star guiding all strategic decisions, regardless of how the actual landscape evolves. By meticulously applying these organizational principles, hierarchical milestone breakdown, detailed task design, disciplined resource allocation, daily and weekly reviews, external accountability, and flexible adjustment, you create an execution engine that transforms your most ambitious financial goals into a sequence of purposeful actions. This structured methodology bridges the gap between visionary thinking and consistent performance, enabling you to harness the full power of your definite chief aim and steadily build the wealth, freedom, and impact you envision. In this fifth segment, we concentrate on the essential principle of persistence and the systematic tracking of your progress toward your definite chief aim. Persistence, according to Napoleon Hill, is the sustained effort necessary to induce faith and crystallize desire into tangible results. Without it, even the most brilliant plans can falter under adversity or distraction. We will examine how to cultivate unshakable persistence through habit formation, accountability mechanisms, and mindset conditioning, and how to pair these efforts with rigorous performance metrics that ensure you remain on course. First, understand that persistence is not merely stubbornness but a product of clarified purpose and emotional investment. Each time you encounter an obstacle, your emotional connection to the aim must override feelings of discouragement. To reinforce this, integrate a persistence ritual into your daily routine. Carve out a brief session, 5 minutes at midday, during which you mentally rehearse overcoming the most recent challenge you faced, envisioning yourself navigating it successfully. Recall the sensory details and emotions from your auto-suggestion practices and reaffirm your commitment. Over time, this tiny ritual builds neural resilience, enabling you to rebound more swiftly from setbacks. Second, establish quantifiable performance indicators that reflect both effort and outcomes. Effort metrics might include daily affirmation sessions completed, hours devoted to key tasks, or number of outreach conversations. Outcome metrics could encompass funds accumulated, expense ratios improved, or revenue generated. Organize these metrics in a simple dashboard, whether a spreadsheet or habit tracking app, so you can update them at a glance. Reviewing effort metrics daily encourages consistency, while weekly reflection on outcome metrics helps you identify trends and adjust tactics. For example, if revenue targets lag despite high task completion, you may need to refine your marketing message or pivot your service offering. Third, leverage accountability partnerships to supercharge persistence. Share your weekly metrics report with a trusted peer or mentor and schedule a brief check-in, via call or video, each week. During these sessions, disclose your effort and outcome figures candidly, discuss obstacles, and solicit feedback on possible solutions. The social contract inherent in this arrangement elevates your commitment. You are no longer accountable only to yourself, but also to someone who expects transparent reporting and constructive dialogue. This dynamic not only sustains your momentum but often surfaces creative insights you might not have generated in isolation. Next, apply the 2-minute rule to overcome inertia. Whenever you feel resistance toward a key task, commit to working on it for just 2 minutes. Once you begin, momentum usually carries you beyond the initial threshold, often leading to extended periods of focused activity. This simple yet powerful strategy exploits the brain's pattern-seeking nature. Starting a task signals a promise to your subconscious, which then aligns resources to maintain engagement. Use this rule especially for tasks you habitually avoid, such as budget reviews or outreach calls. Frequent 2-minute starts will erode procrastination over time. Finally, build a habit of monthly retrospectives to assess the health of your persistence and progress. At the end of each month, set aside a dedicated hour to analyze your metrics dashboard, journal your emotional responses, and evaluate whether your persistence rituals and accountability structures remain effective. Identify 1 or 2 persistence wins, moments when you overcame significant friction, and celebrate them to reinforce positive associations. Likewise, pinpoint any lapses in consistency and diagnose root causes, whether external stressors, misaligned routines, or diminishing emotional intensity. Then, adjust your rituals, refine your metrics, or re-engage accountability partners as needed. By systematically integrating persistence cultivation with performance tracking, you forge an enduring engine that converts aspiration into achievement, ensuring your definite chief aim remains both vivid in your mind and inexorable in your life. In this 6th segment, we explore the mastermind principle as the ultimate force multiplier for your definite chief aim. Napoleon Hill defined a mastermind as a coordinated alliance of two or more minds working actively together in perfect harmony toward a common definite purpose. When you surround yourself with individuals who share your passion for financial mastery, each contributing unique skills, knowledge, and perspectives, you unlock a collective intelligence that far exceeds the sum of its parts. In this section, you will learn how to assemble, structure, and maintain a high-impact mastermind group that continuously reinforces your commitment, accelerates your learning curve, and opens doors to opportunities you could never reach alone. First, identify prospective members whose objectives align closely with your own or who possess complementary strengths. Seek individuals who demonstrate integrity, enthusiasm, and a growth mindset. Ideal candidates may include peers who are also striving to clarify and achieve financial goals, mentors with proven track records in entrepreneurship or investment, and professionals whose expertise fills gaps in your own skill set. Limit the group size to 3 to 6 members to ensure that each participant receives ample time and attention. A smaller circle fosters deeper trust and accountability, while a larger assembly risks diluting focus and overextending meeting agendas. Next, establish clear guidelines and expectations for your mastermind to maximize productivity. Draft a simple charter that outlines the group's purpose, meeting frequency, format, and confidentiality clause. For example, agree to convene for 90 minutes every 2 weeks, rotating the facilitator role among members. During each session, allot time for personal progress reports, brainstorming solutions to challenges, and sharing valuable resources or contacts. Structure the agenda so that each member receives dedicated hot seat time, typically 15 to 20 minutes, to present a specific obstacle or opportunity related to their definite chief aim. The group then offers constructive criticism, brainstorming ideas, and action recommendations. Conclude meetings with clear commitments. Each member declares the specific tasks they will complete before the next gathering. Accountability lies at the heart of mastermind effectiveness. Knowing that you must report concrete outcomes to your peers heightens your sense of responsibility and fuels consistent effort. To further reinforce this dynamic, maintain a shared document, such as a cloud-based spreadsheet or collaborative note, that records each member's stated commitments, deadlines, and progress updates. Review this document briefly at the start of every meeting to celebrate successes and identify areas needing additional support. Public recognition of achievements, no matter how small, not only boosts morale but also strengthens the neural pathways associated with perseverance and positive reinforcement. Equally vital is the practice of active contribution. A mastermind group thrives when every participant brings value to the table, whether through insightful questions, relevant introductions, or candid feedback. Cultivate the habit of listening attentively to each member's challenges and opportunities, then offer suggestions grounded in your own experiences or network. When you give generously, sharing useful articles, inviting a member to a strategic webinar, or connecting them with a potential collaborator, you reinforce social bonds and engender reciprocal support. This mutual exchange of value transforms the group into a dynamic ecosystem where ideas propagate rapidly, momentum builds organically, and collective problem-solving becomes second nature. Another key advantage of the mastermind is access to diverse perspectives that challenge your assumptions and stretch your thinking. During brainstorming sessions, encourage members to play devil's advocate, posing alternative viewpoints and hypothetical scenarios that test the robustness of your strategies. Such constructive tension reveals hidden risks, uncovers blind spots, and sparks creative breakthroughs. Embrace these challenging dialogues as opportunities for growth. Resist the urge to defend your current plans rigidly. Instead, treat each critique as a gift, an invitation to refine your definite chief aim, tighten your action plan, or reinforce your emotional commitment. To maintain group cohesion and progress, schedule periodic retreats or off-site gatherings, virtual or in person, where members can immerse themselves in deep planning and visionary exercises. Use these retreats to review long-term milestones, celebrate major achievements, and reset collective intentions for the next phase of growth. Facilitate workshops on topics such as advanced goal-setting techniques, persuasive communication skills, or investment strategies, inviting external experts when possible. These special sessions rekindle enthusiasm, inject fresh knowledge, and reaffirm the shared purpose that unites the mastermind. Finally, recognize that mastermind membership is not a lifelong commitment by default, but a strategic alliance that should evolve alongside your definite chief aim. As your financial goals mature, whether reaching a savings target, scaling a business, or diversifying your portfolio, you may outgrow certain group dynamics and require new expertise. Periodically assess whether each member continues to provide unique value and alignment with your current objectives. If a mismatch arises, address it respectfully, and consider inviting a new member whose strengths better complement the group's evolving needs. By treating your mastermind as an adaptive organism rather than a static club, you ensure that its collective intelligence remains razor-sharp and consistently aligned with the pursuit of your most ambitious financial vision. In this 7th segment, we confront the invisible barriers that suspicion, self-doubt, and fear erect between you and your definite chief aim. Napoleon Hill identified 6 basic fears: poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death, and observed that unrecognized or unaddressed anxieties around these themes generate mental resistance that throttles momentum. For a person striving to master finances, the fear of scarcity or fear of making a costly mistake can paralyze decision-making, causing hesitation where decisiveness is required. To overcome these obstacles, you must first acknowledge their presence, then apply precise mental protocols to neutralize them. Begin by conducting an honest fear inventory. Set aside a calm moment and list any recurring worries that arise when you contemplate your financial goals. Perhaps you fear not having an emergency cushion, being judged for taking entrepreneurial risks, or failing to provide for loved ones. Write each fear as plainly as possible. I am afraid I will run out of money before I reach my savings target, or I dread negative feedback if my side business falters. This act of externalizing anxiety transforms intangible unease into a concrete problem you can address strategically. It also diminishes the subconscious tendency to amplify fears. Once articulated, they lose some of their emotional power. Next, apply an adversarial thinking exercise. For each fear, draft a worst-case scenario and then construct a rational contingency plan. If you fear budget shortfalls, determine how much minimum cash you need to cover essential expenses for 3 months and identify specific actions: selling and used assets, freelancing for extra income, reducing discretionary costs, to bridge any gap. If you fear critique or failure, list supportive mentors or peer group members you can consult for objective feedback, and schedule periodic reviews to catch problems early. By planning your response in advance, you reclaim a sense of agency and disempower the fear's influence over your behavior. To transform adversity into an ally, embrace the concept of creative capital.
Every challenge you surmount enriches your experience, enhance your resilience, and deepens your understanding of market dynamics.
Consider setbacks not as verdicts on your competence, but as data points guiding your evolution. After a financial stumble, whether an underperforming investment or an unexpected expense, conduct a structured debrief. Identify the root causes, extract lessons on what to avoid or adjust, and document your revised strategies in a lesson log. This log becomes a repository of hard-earned wisdom you can reference when shaping future decisions, converting adversity into tangible assets in your mental toolkit. Hill also teaches that persistence under pressure forges new neural pathways that bolster confidence. Use the pressure simulation technique. Periodically immerse yourself in a controlled challenge that mimics the stress of a real financial hurdle. For example, set a compressed time frame in which you must raise a nominal amount through sales outreach or complete a mock budget overhaul under simulated constraints. The objective is not actual financial gain, but the practice of performing under duress. Each successful simulation weakens the emotional charge of genuine crises, demonstrating to your mind that you can respond effectively rather than collapse. Equally important is the cultivation of optimism as a counterbalance to fear. Optimism is not blind positivity but a deliberate focus on potential gains and constructive outcomes. When negative thoughts arise, what if I deplete my savings? Counter them with evidence of past achievements and a list of resources you can mobilize. Create a brief victory file on your device containing screenshots of milestones you reached, affirming messages from supporters, or testimonials from clients. Whenever fear attempts to hijack your attention, open this file and allow the tangible reminders of progress to reorient your mindset toward possibility. Finally, integrate these fear management practices into your daily routine alongside your definite chief aim affirmations. After reciting and visualizing your goal, allocate 2 to 3 minutes to review your fear inventory and affirm the specific contingency strategies you've developed. This reinforces a dual narrative. You are deeply committed to your ambition, and you possess the preparedness to navigate any obstacle. Over time, this synthesis of aspiration and security programming transforms fear from a blockade into a motivator, prompting you to identify emerging risks early and treat each as an opportunity to refine your plan. By mastering your emotions, you fortify the psychological foundation necessary to pursue ambitious financial targets with unwavering courage and clarity. In this 8th segment, we explore the creative faculties of your mind, specifically, how imagination becomes the engine of innovation and opportunity within your financial journey. Napoleon Hill named imagination as one of the 6 key principles of success, describing it as the workshop wherein plans are fashioned and inventions conceived. By systematically exercising both synthetic and creative imagination, you generate novel strategies for income generation, problem-solving, and competitive differentiation that give you an edge in any economic environment.
First, distinguish between synthetic imagination and creative imagination.
Synthetic imagination rearranges existing ideas, products, or services to produce new combinations. For example, you might merge an online budgeting app with a community forum to create a collaborative financial planning platform. Creative imagination, by contrast, taps into the subconscious to produce entirely original concepts, insights that seem to arise from out of the blue. Both forms are valuable. Synthetic imagination allows you to remix proven models with minimal risk, while creative imagination can yield breakthrough innovations that disrupt markets. To cultivate synthetic imagination, begin by conducting a pattern shift exercise. List 3 successful business models, subscription services, peer-to-peer marketplaces, or affiliate marketing, and 3 adjacent industries or target demographics you understand well. Then pair each model with each market segment to brainstorm potential offerings. For example, a subscription model could serve freelance writers seeking curated research packages, or affiliate marketing could focus on eco-friendly home goods for urban millennials. Aim for at least 20 pairings in 20 minutes. The goal isn't perfection but the stimulation of associative thought. Afterwards, review your ideas and select the 3 most compelling combinations, those that resonate emotionally and align with your definite chief aim. For creative imagination, schedule a mind vacation session each week. Find a peaceful setting, free from digital distractions, and enter a relaxed, receptive mental state, perhaps using soft instrumental music or a 5-minute breathing exercise. Pose a focused question to your subconscious. What new financial service could revolutionize how ordinary people build emergency funds? Then record any spontaneous thoughts, symbols, or mental images that arise over a 15-minute period. Avoid self-editing or dismissal. Even seemingly nonsensical ideas may contain hidden value. Later, examine your notes for kernels of insight, unique features, metaphors, or analogies that can be refined into tangible concepts. Once you have candidate ideas from both exercises, apply the reality test filter. Evaluate each concept for feasibility, market demand, and your personal capacity to execute. Ask, does this idea solve a genuine problem? Can I prototype it with minimal resources? Would it synergetically support my definite chief aim? Discard or table ideas that fail these tests, and devote focused energy to refining the most promising one. This disciplined filtering ensures that your imaginative output translates into pragmatic action rather than speculative distraction. Next, integrate imaginative brainstorming into your organized plan of action, as detailed in Block 4. Assign a regular innovation slot in your weekly calendar, an uninterrupted block dedicated solely to generative thinking. Treat this time with the same priority as client meetings or budget reviews. During each session, revisit your definite chief aim and consider how emerging trends, technological advances, legislative changes, cultural shifts, could redefine the pathways to your goal. Document any evolving scenarios and adjust your quarterly milestones if warranted. To strengthen collaborative imagination, leverage your mastermind group, Block 6. At the end of a standard meeting, allocate 15 minutes to an innovation hot seat, where one member presents a current challenge. The group then employs rapid-fire idea generation, no critique allowed, aiming for volume over quality. Afterward, sift through the ideas and vote on the top 3 for further exploration. This practice not only accelerates creative output, but also reinforces group cohesion and collective ownership of solutions. Neuroscientific studies confirm that diverse input fuels imaginative thinking. To widen your cognitive palette, consume content outside your usual domain. Read case studies in behavioral economics, listen to podcasts on urban planning, or attend webinars on gamification.
Exposure to disparate fields triggers novel associations when you return to your financial objectives.
Keep a serendipity journal to capture intriguing ideas, quotes, diagrams, anecdotes, and review it weekly for inspiration. Mind mapping is another powerful tool. Start with your definite chief aim at the center of a blank page. Radiate branches representing key sub-themes: marketing, product features, customer experience, revenue streams. From each branch, create sub-branches capturing specific questions or possibilities. For instance, under customer experience, you might explore gamification elements or personalization algorithms. This visual structure helps you perceive connections that linear lists often obscure, triggering further creative leaps. Finally, avoid self-censorship during ideation. Hill warned that premature judgment stifles imaginative output. Embrace the paradox that many wild ideas require later refinement to become feasible. Reserve a separate sandbox, file, or notebook where you store blue-sky notions without expectation of immediate utility. Over time, review this repository. You may find that an idea once deemed impractical aligns perfectly with new resources, partnerships, or technologies. By systematically exercising both synthetic and creative imagination, you transform your mental landscape into an idea factory, continually generating processes, products, and services that propel you toward your definite chief aim. Imagination thus becomes not a whimsical pastime but a discipline, one you integrate into your daily routines, your collaboration structures, and your strategic reviews. In the next segment, we will examine how to harness organized planning and imagination in tandem to craft compelling pitches, persuasive proposals, and marketing narratives that resonate with your target audience and drive adoption of your innovations. In this 9th segment, we address the critical role of specialized knowledge as a pillar of financial mastery and a catalyst for achieving your definite chief aim. While general education and broad skills provide a foundation, it is specific, targeted expertise that opens doors to high-value opportunities, differentiates you from the competition, and accelerates your path to wealth. Napoleon Hill emphasized that knowledge is only potential power. It becomes power only when organized into definite plans of action and directed to a definite end. Here, you will learn how to identify, acquire, and apply specialized knowledge in a way that directly supports your goal. First, conduct a gap analysis to determine the precise areas of expertise required to fulfill your definite chief aim. Review your organized plan of action, see Block 4, and list every task or decision point that hinges on technical skills, industry insights, or advanced methodologies. For instance, if your aim involves launching an online financial coaching business, you might need specialized knowledge in behavioral finance, digital marketing algorithms, webinar production, or compliance regulations. Rank these needs by impact and urgency. Focus first on knowledge areas that underpin the largest revenue streams or highest risk activities. Next, explore multiple acquisition channels tailored to your learning style and schedule. Formal education, such as degrees, certifications, or accredited courses, can grant comprehensive frameworks and recognized credentials, but often require significant time and financial investment. Alternatively, microlearning platforms, online courses, workshops, or boot camps allow you to master discrete topics intensively over days or weeks. Industry conferences, mastermind sessions, and peer-led seminars offer immersive experiences and networking benefits, while self-directed research through books, white papers, and reputable blogs can fill specialized niches at your own pace. To maximize efficiency, combine methods. Enroll in a targeted online course, then deepen your understanding through real-world projects and consultations with experts. To ensure retention and practical applicability, adopt a project-based learning approach. Rather than passively consuming content, integrate new knowledge immediately into tasks that advance your aim. If you study search engine marketing, for example, set up a small test campaign with a modest budget, track performance metrics, and iterate according to results. If you learn advanced spreadsheet modeling, build a dynamic financial forecast for your monthly budgeting milestones. This hands-on translation of theory into practice solidifies comprehension and produces tangible assets, marketing funnels, financial models, or compliance checklists that directly contribute to your progress. Another vital component is curation and synthesis. As you accumulate information from diverse sources, maintain a structured knowledge repository, whether a digital notebook, cloud-based database, or personal wiki. Tag entries by topic, date, and source quality, and summarize key takeaways in your own words. Periodically review and distill this repository into concise playbooks or cheat sheets that address critical workflows. These internal documents become your proprietary standard operating procedures, saving time and ensuring consistency as you scale operations or delegate tasks to collaborators. Hill also underscores the importance of ongoing education. Specialized knowledge must evolve in tandem with market shifts, regulatory changes, and technological advancements. Schedule quarterly learning sprints, during which you survey emerging trends in your domain. Subscribe to industry newsletters, join relevant online communities, and set up news alerts for key terms. Then, allocate time to explore one or two breakthroughs, be it a new investment vehicle, a disruptive marketing tool, or a revised compliance requirement, and assess its relevance to your definite chief aim. Incorporate the most promising developments into your plan of action without allowing information overload to distract you. When direct acquisition of knowledge is impractical or too slow, leverage the expertise of others. Hire consultants, engage coaches, or subcontract specific tasks to professionals who possess the necessary skills. Structure these relationships with clear deliverables, timelines, and evaluation criteria to ensure accountability and cost-effectiveness. Simultaneously, apply the principle of reverse mentoring within your mastermind group. Teach peers your areas of strength in exchange for their instruction in complementary fields. This reciprocal arrangement accelerates collective learning and fosters deeper alliances. To measure the impact of specialized knowledge, integrate learning metrics into your performance dashboard. See Block 5. Track leading indicators, certificates earned, courses completed, hours of practice, and lagging indicators such as improvements in conversion rates, cost savings, or time efficiencies. For example, if you master a new CRM system, monitor the reduction in response times or the increase in client retention rates. Use these data points during your weekly and monthly reviews to identify which knowledge investments yield the greatest return, allowing you to fine-tune your learning strategy. Finally, cultivate a learning mindset that treats every challenge as an opportunity to deepen expertise. When you encounter a problem outside your current knowledge base, whether a legal question, a technical glitch, or a negotiation hurdle, resist the temptation to bypass it. Instead, view it as an invitation to research, consult mentors, or experiment until you master the solution. This proactive stance transforms obstacles into learning moments, constantly expanding your specialized skill set and reinforcing your role as an authority in your chosen field. By prioritizing specialized knowledge, through targeted gap analysis, strategic learning methods, project-based application, structured curation, ongoing trend monitoring, expert leverage, and rigorous measurement, you convert education into a formidable, actionable resource. This resource empowers you to execute each element of your definite chief aim with expertise, confidence, and efficiency, setting you apart in competitive environments and propelling you toward financial mastery. In the next segment, we will examine how to harness decisive action and eliminate procrastination to maintain unbroken momentum toward your ultimate objective. In this 10th segment, we tackle the indispensable principle of decisive action and the systematic elimination of procrastination that stands between you and your definite chief aim. Napoleon Hill insisted that the mastery of procrastination is the foundation of all other success principles. Intentions alone will never yield results unless backed by prompt, resolute execution. Here, you will learn how to cultivate an action-oriented mindset, deploy proven techniques to overcome hesitation, and structure your environment so that decisions become automatic triggers for productive behavior. The first step is to understand the psychology of decision-making. Every choice you delay compounds mental friction, increasing the perceived effort required to act. To counter this, train yourself to make small decisions rapidly. Adopt the 5-second rule. The moment you conceive of a task directly tied to your definite chief aim, whether finalizing a budget, composing a marketing email, or scheduling a coaching session, count down verbally from 5 to 1 and launch immediately. This mechanical countdown prevents your mind from rehearsing doubts or rationalizations. Over time, the neural pathway linking intention to action is reinforced, making initiation virtually instinctive. Next, design an environment optimized for frictionless execution. Remove or minimize obstacles that drain willpower and distract you from decisive action. If you struggle to write proposals, keep your workspace free from social media notifications, maintain a template library for quicker drafting, and prearrange all reference materials on your desk before you begin. For financial tracking tasks, automate data imports and set up recurring calendar reminders that launch the relevant spreadsheet at the scheduled time. By externalizing triggers for action and eliminating decision fatigue, you conserve mental energy for the high-leverage choices that truly matter. Another powerful technique is the structured timer method. Allocate fixed intervals, such as 30 or 55 minutes, to focused work on a single task, using a visible countdown timer. Commit to uninterrupted immersion during each interval, then reward yourself with a brief break. This interplay of intense focus and rest leverages ultradian rhythms and prevents burnout. Pair the timer with your daily top 3 tasks, see Block 4, so each session has a clear, outcome-oriented goal aligned with your definite chief aim. The combination of commitment to a finite block and a tangible deliverable creates both urgency and clarity, 2 catalysts for decisive action. To eradicate deeper patterns of procrastination, identify and address the hidden beliefs that sustain delay. Common self-talk, "I'm not ready yet," "it has to be perfect," or "I need more information," often masks fear of failure or discomfort with uncertainty. Use the Fear Exposure Challenge. Consciously choose a task you have avoided, then perform it under controlled conditions, accepting imperfection as part of the learning process. When the task is complete, reflect on the outcome. You will almost always discover that the consequences of action are far less daunting than imagined. Each successful exposure weakens the association between action and anxiety, gradually dismantling the subconscious barriers that fuel procrastination. Accountability systems further enforce decisive behavior. Publicly commit to specific deliverables and deadlines. Post them in your mastermind group, share progress on social media, or enlist a trusted accountability partner. The knowledge that others expect you to act sharply increases motivational urgency. Enhance this by implementing progress contracts, written agreements that stipulate rewards for completion and modest penalties, such as donating to a cause you neither admire nor support, if you miss the mark. These stakes harness the power of loss aversion and social reputation to propel consistent execution. Finally, cultivate a daily ritual that primes your mind for action. Begin each morning with a brief power session. Review your definite chief aim, affirm your willingness to act without delay, and immediately tackle one of your top 3 tasks before engaging in any other activity or distraction. By proving to yourself that you can prioritize a critical action before email, social media, or trivial chores, you establish a pattern of decisive execution that cascades through the rest of your day. Conclude each evening with a rapid action audit. Record completed tasks, note any instances of hesitation, and identify the triggers that caused delay. This cycle of commitment and reflection trains your brain to detect procrastination at its onset and respond with decisive effort. By mastering decision speed, creating frictionless environments, leveraging structured timers, confronting fear through exposure, enforcing accountability, and embedding an action-primed ritual into your routine, you eradicate procrastination and build unstoppable momentum toward your definite chief aim. Decisive action becomes your default mode, ensuring that every intention is swiftly converted into tangible progress and that your financial destiny unfolds according to the powerful design you have crafted. In this 11th segment, we focus on leveraging your organized planning and creative imagination to craft persuasive narratives, pitches, and proposals that resonate with your target audience and accelerate the adoption of your ideas and offerings. Conveying your vision with clarity, emotion, and credibility is essential to mobilize resources, secure partnerships, and attract clients or investors who will fuel your progress toward your definite chief aim. Here, you will learn how to transform raw data, strategic milestones, and innovative concepts into compelling stories that speak directly to the needs, aspirations, and pain points of your intended audience. Begin by identifying the core message you wish to communicate, the unique value proposition that distinguishes your solution or service. Draw from your definite chief aim statement and its why clause to uncover the emotional drivers, such as security, freedom, or legacy, that underlie your objective. Frame your pitch around a simple narrative arc. Present the problem your audience faces, describe the transformative solution you provide, and illustrate the positive outcome they will experience. This 3-part structure engages the listener's natural affinity for stories and positions you as the guide who leads them from their current challenges to a more desirable future. Next, integrate evidence from your organized plan to build credibility. Quantify key achievements, percentage growth in savings, number of clients served, or efficiency improvements, and embed these metrics within your narrative. Rather than listing statistics in isolation, weave them into illustrative anecdotes. Last quarter, our targeted outreach campaign generated a 30% increase in qualified leads, enabling our early adopters to secure new revenue streams within 4 weeks. This contextualization helps your audience visualize real-world impact and trust the validity of your claims. To heighten emotional resonance, employ sensory-rich details drawn from your visualization practices. Describe the relief a client feels when their emergency fund reaches the desired threshold or the excitement of witnessing a revenue milestone on their dashboard. These vivid depictions trigger mirror neurons in your audience, allowing them to experience your success vicariously and strengthening their motivation to engage with your proposal. Be careful to balance emotion with reason by following each evocative description with a concise explanation of the logical steps you or your client took to achieve that result. When constructing slide decks or written proposals, maintain a clean layout that guides the viewer's eye in a linear progression. Use bold headings for each narrative section, concise bullet points that summarize key takeaways, and high-quality visuals, charts, infographics, or icons that reinforce your message rather than distract from it. Each slide or paragraph should deliver a single idea, ensuring that cognitive load remains low and that your audience can absorb and recall the information with ease. In live presentations, your delivery is as critical as your content. Practice your pitch aloud until you can speak with natural confidence and appropriate pacing. Modulate your tone to emphasize the most significant points, slower for emotional statements, quicker for exciting breakthroughs, and pause strategically after posing a rhetorical question or presenting a compelling statistic. These deliberate pauses create space for reflection and heighten the impact of your message. To address potential objections, incorporate a preemptive rebuttal section within your proposal. Anticipate common concerns, such as cost, implementation complexity, or market saturation, and provide concise, evidence-based responses. For instance, if cost is a barrier, highlight your scalable pricing model, cost-saving case studies, or risk reversal guarantees. Preemptive rebuttals demonstrate your understanding of stakeholder reservations and reinforce your preparedness, reducing resistance and fostering trust. Finally, close your narrative with a clear call to action that specifies the exact next steps you want your audience to take, whether scheduling a follow-up call, signing a contract, or joining a pilot program. Align this call to action with the language of commitment you used in your definite chief aim, reinforcing the continuity between your personal ambition and the collaborative opportunity you present. Provide deadlines or limited time incentives to instill a sense of urgency without resorting to pressure tactics. By systematically applying your organized plan, harnessing the vivid scenarios crafted through imagination exercises, and structuring your message to balance emotion with evidence, you convert conceptual ambitions into persuasive narratives that compel action. This mastery of storytelling and presentation becomes a critical multiplier in your pursuit of financial success, enabling you to attract the allies, resources, and clients necessary to realize your definite chief aim. In this 12th and final segment of our deep dive into Napoleon Hill's definite chief aim principle, we integrate every element we've explored: purpose definition, autosuggestion, organized planning, persistence, mastermind collaboration, imaginative innovation, specialized knowledge, decisive action, and persuasive communication, into a cohesive maintenance strategy that ensures your momentum never wanes. Achieving a major financial objective is not a one-time event, but a continuous cycle of growth, adaptation, and renewal. Here, you will learn how to institutionalize your success habits, monitor evolving opportunities and threats, and reset your definite chief aim as you ascend toward ever greater levels of freedom and impact. First, transition from an execution mindset to a sustained mastery mindset by establishing a quarterly aim audit. At the close of each quarter, convene a structured review session, solo or with your mastermind group, where you revisit your original definite chief aim statement and assess progress against key metrics: milestones reached, financial targets met, skill enhancements achieved, and meaningful connections forged. Celebrate substantial wins to reinforce the reward centers in your brain, then candidly analyze any shortfalls without ego. Determine whether tweaks to your aim scope, time frame, or strategy are warranted in light of new insights or shifting circumstances. By treating your aim as a living document rather than a static decree, you maintain alignment between ambition and reality. Next, embed your core success rituals into your identity through habit stacking. Link each high-impact practice, morning affirmations, midday persistence rituals, evening visualization, weekly innovation sessions, and monthly retrospectives, to existing daily routines. For example, attach your morning auto-suggestion to the act of brewing coffee and your evening reflection to brushing your teeth. Over time, these behaviors become as automatic as habitual hygiene, ensuring uninterrupted application of Hill's principles even when external pressures mount. To stay ahead of emerging trends and preempt disruptions, implement a dynamic intelligence system. Subscribe to curated financial newsletters, set up keyword alerts for industry shifts, and dedicate 15 minutes each week to scanning leading economic indicators or regulatory updates. Capture salient information in your knowledge repository and evaluate its potential impact on your aim during your next planning meeting. This proactive stance transforms uncertainty into advantage, enabling you to pivot swiftly and capitalize on first-mover opportunities. Simultaneously, deepen your mastermind engagement by rotating leadership roles, inviting occasional guest experts, and balancing support with constructive challenge. As group members evolve, introduce advanced topics, such as geopolitical risk analysis, automated investment algorithms, or advanced negotiation tactics that push collective capabilities to new heights. Periodically refresh group membership to incorporate fresh perspectives without sacrificing core trust. Maintaining emotional equilibrium is crucial for long-term success. High achievers risk burnout when they neglect self-care amidst relentless pursuit. Schedule regular recharge retreats, digital detox days, or physical activities that restore mental energy. During these intervals, reflect on the broader purpose behind your financial aim, whether it's family security, philanthropic impact, or personal legacy, to rekindle intrinsic motivation. Finally, prepare for the next plateau by formulating your next-level chief aim. Once you have fulfilled your initial objective, such as accumulating a specified net worth or launching a scalable enterprise, take time to dream bigger. Use the same rigorous process, align with evolving values, assess new capabilities and resources, brainstorm ambitious possibilities, and craft a refined statement with updated metrics and deadlines. By perpetually resetting your aim, you prevent stagnation and ensure that your personal growth trajectory remains upward. In closing, Napoleon Hill's definite chief aim principle is more than a goal-setting technique. It is the lifeblood of extraordinary achievement. When you define your purpose with precision, reinforce it through autosuggestion and visualization, execute via organized planning, and sustain momentum with persistence, mastermind collaboration, imagination, specialized knowledge, decisive action, and adaptive maintenance, you transform an elusive dream into a living reality. This systematic approach doesn't merely generate wealth, it reshapes your identity, fortifies your character, and empowers you to create enduring value for yourself and others. Apply these insights consistently, and you will find that the horizon of possibility continues to expand, guiding you to ever greater contributions, prosperity, and fulfillment.